What's up guys and welcome to the channel. Today we have a Batman comic book haul. Now this is gonna consist of a few different types of issues, a couple major-ish keys, a couple of just my personal favorites, and a couple that I've just picked because they have relevance of some sort or just because I think they're cool books. So it's in no particular order, some old, some new, but just some of my favorite Batman books. So let's hop right in. The first book we have here is Batman issue 400. Straighten that out. The anniversary issue. Now this book isn't just your average anniversary issue either though, because the introduction is actually written by Stephen King. I mean, everybody knows Stephen King. Great author, really eerie stuff, and I just think the cover and just the whole vibe of it's very Stephen King, very horror-ish, and I really love this book, so I felt it deserved a place. So then next up we have Detective Comics issue 664 from the Nightfall series. Now I know this is in the main Nightfall issue where Batman's back is actually broken, but this is just one of my favorite covers ever. I'm actually waiting on that issue to arrive soon, but I don't have it at the moment. But this is just one of my favorite covers. It's so, just everything about it. Bane looks like an absolute beast. The bats in the background, how Batman's just defeated. I really think it's so symbolic of how powerful Bane actually is. You know that Batman's never gonna have an altercation with Bane without being unscathed in some way, so that's why I love it. And while we're on the topic of Batman getting the crap beaten out of him, here is Detective Comics issue 598, which is the 50th anniversary issue of Detective Comics of Batman. This villain, actually, I believe his name's the Bone Crusher or something like that. I remember looking it up. This is his only appearance, I think, ever, if I remember correctly. So that's pretty neat, but I mean, obviously it's an anniversary issue, and so I consider it quite the key. Next up we have Shadow of the Bat, issue number 1 from June of 1992. Now, this isn't just a big issue because it's a number 1, but it's also a big issue because it's the first appearance of one of my favorite characters, Victor Zsasz. It's also done by Alan Grant, who's one of my favorite writers. He's lesser known, compared to the Frank Millers and whatnot, but I've loved all his stories, and I really do love this issue, from the cover to what it means and stuff. Now, let's hop forward a little. This is obviously a key. Everybody knows this book, issue 1 of Batman from the New 52 series. This I picked up as it came out for what must have been $2 or whatever it was back then, or 50 Rand where I'm from, but now everyone knows how popular this book is, how expensive this book is, how sought after it is. I think this is one of the greatest Batman runs of all time, the New 52 run. I love Scott Snyder, so definitely a key for me. And then the next issue I want to show alongside it is the final issue of the New 52 run. It is issue 52 obviously, and it's a one of the homage variant covers done alongside the first issue. Alright then, next up we have another book from the volume 2 series from the New 52, and it's issue 15, the beginning of the Death of the Family arc. Such an iconic story with the iconic Joker cover with his face cut off. I love this book for so many reasons. I'm a huge Joker fan. He's probably my second favorite character to Batman only, and I just think it's a really neat cover, and it's a really great story. If you haven't read it, I thoroughly suggest checking it out. So major key there. Another one that's not necessarily a key issue, but it's such a well-known cover and such a cool cover, is Batman issue 37 from volume 2 as well, Endgame part 3. You see the Joker with his face cut off. It's the 75 years of Batman anniversary issue. It's just a really clean looking, really cool book. And while we're on the 75-year anniversary topic, here's Joker's 75th year anniversary issue, also from volume 2, New 52 Batman issue 41. It's a variant as well, but it's such a neat variant. A very classical looking Joker with the Tommy gun, the cards, the suit. I love this issue. And then the final book from the New 52 run that I wanted to show is this one. It's a variant. I think it's the most rare variant of issue 47 from the Harley's Little Black Book line. I just really love it because, it's sort of a spin-off of that very iconic cover of Harley Quinn and the Joker. I'm sure everyone's seen it. It was even shown briefly in Suicide Squad. movie, or should I say recreated, and I just think it's a really, really cool cover. The red Batman and the red Harley's little book really pops with the sketch, so I think it's very cool. And then one more modern one, just because it's not very rare or anything, but it's from the time when Batman vs Superman had just come out. It's a variant, one of those poly-sealed bag issues, and I just think it's a really neat cover. You can see the difference between the dark and the light between the two. The movie coming out, it was just very cool, so I had to put that in. And now for something a little different. These are also not necessarily keys, but I love crossover issues. So this is the first one. It's Batman Ninja Turtles crossover, DC and IDW. This is actually a pretty difficult issue to find, but I'm so happy I got my hands on it. Love them both. I mean, I've read the story. It's not necessarily the greatest story. It's fun, as it should be. Nothing too serious, but any crossover for me is great, especially Batman. The next crossover is slightly more serious. Obviously, Frank Miller, one of my favorites. Todd McFarlane, one of my favorites. Spawn Batman, the Image Comics DC crossover. Also just very cool, two very dark characters, anti-hero characters, so I think it's a perfect match. Then we have issue 505 from the Flashpoint story arc. Now this is not necessarily Batman we know as Bruce Wayne, it's Thomas Wayne, obviously, if you know. Such an iconic issue where Thomas Wayne kills the Reverse Flash. You see the darker side of Batman through Thomas, and it's just one of my favorites, so it had to be in. Next up we have Batman issue 491 from April 1993. This is nothing overly key or anything like that, but it's just a really, really cool cover. You see Batman with his wings spread like you see him so often in the movies these days. You see the Arkham inmates escaping, obviously the Joker in the front. It's just such a cool looking issue, and I had to put it in. And now for something much, much, much more recent, we have two issues. First is the DC Universe Rebirth issue 1. This is the variant with the 3 Jokers. The 3 Jokers plot twist was something I never saw coming, and I just can't wait to see where that all unravels to. It hasn't fully unraveled yet, but I think it was such an interesting thing, and that was actually not in this comic, it was in the Justice League comic. This is the comic where the Watchmen were introduced into the DC universe. But I think it's just so cool. I mean, you see Wally West on the cover, which shows like the paradox in the times in the new timeline. You see all 3 of the Jokers, you see Batman. It's just such a cool variant, so I had to put it in. Such a thick book as well. And finally, it's DC Universe Rebirth's All-Star Batman issue 1. Why did I put this in? Well, it's not overly valuable or sought after yet, but it is Scott Snyder's new lines since the New 52 run, which is my favorite, and I'm really enjoying this line, so I had to just put it in. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time for a new video.